The mother will always be with the child. Now, I think this links up very nicely. There's an early Buddhist prayer, I believe attributed to the Buddha himself, which says, "Let us cherish all creatures as a mother her only child." That we have to have that sense of absolute responsibility for all creatures, all human beings, whoever they are. And because all these faiths insist that you cannot confine your compassion to your own cozy little group or your own congenial friends. You have to have what one of the Chinese sages called concern for everybody. Love your enemy, said Jesus. Reach out to all tribes and nations. The Confucians would say that you begin your quest when you're a child in the family. That's when you learn to relate to people. It can set you up for life or knock you down for life. But you learn, and the rules of courtesy in ancient China gave everybody in the family a measure of absolute respect. And Confucius had the insight to see that when you behave towards somebody with absolute respect, they feel it. They feel themselves empowered by that. They feel that they are worthy of respect, that they are in fact sacred in the sense of precious and absolutely inviolable. Now, in Buddhism, the whole idea of compassion is linked to this responsible action. It means that you must take responsibility for the pain in the world. This pain is something that all human beings share. All of us, no matter how fortunate and privileged we may be, suffer pain. And we will all die. And it won't be pleasant. And so pain, often it divides us because we feel that our pain is so special that we hug it to ourselves, and sometimes we even use our pain to pay back, or we think the world owes us something. But this is to lock yourself into pain. And the Buddha says you must go out to the world, not hug your enlightenment to yourself or your religion to yourself and getting a warm glow, but reach out. There are two stories that I think emblematic of how this works in Buddhism. They're called myths. Now, in modern English, the word myth comes to mean something that isn't true. But that's a product, that's an interpretation of our rational age. Previously, a myth was something that in some sense happened once, but which also happens all the time. It's talking about timeless truth, the hidden meaning of things, and most emphatically, it's a call to action. It's a program for action. And a myth doesn't come to life for you unless you put it into practice. That's why a lot of people who say they've got to believe in a whole lot of doctrines without practicing the faith find themselves at an impasse. Now, these myths of the Buddha are telling each Buddhist what he or she must do to achieve his or her own enlightenment. And the first is the story of his going forth and becoming a monk. It's said that when the Buddha was born, his father held a celebration and asked the priests, local priests, did the grounds with guards so that no disturbing sight could come anywhere near this child.